Hello friends, Justin here, wishing you a Merry Christmas. I sent out yesterday this year's Christmas electronic carol, which is Little Drummer Boy, and hoping you guys all got to listen to that and enjoy it a little bit. Maybe download it, put it in one of your playlists, add a little bit of dark electronic goodness into one of your Christmas playlists. And so what I thought it might be fun to do was show you three little things that I was playing around with when I made this tune, and maybe you can then try out these techniques and make your own music with them. So here we go. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you, that tea's delicious, is I wanted to use a sidechain compressor to make, like, as an instrument rather than as just a mixing tool. I wanted to use it in a really kind of extreme, kind of almost creative way to muck around making this hazy texture. I love making kind of hazy electronic textures that can sit in the background. And the thing that I wanted to work with was, because it's the drummer boy, how can we make like a kind of weird rhythm that is like, rather than a drum hit, is like the opposite of a drum hit. So it's like whoom, whoom, whoom. And the compressor is going to do that. So what a compressor does is, it basically, like, if you think you're on a mixing desk, you've got a channel, it's going to just, like, whenever that channel gets over a certain level, you can set that level. You can set it to pull that fader down, and you might set it to pull it down really slowly and release slowly, or super fast and release super fast. So it's kind of just a way of managing dynamics. But what we're going to use here is a way of, like, creating a weird sound. So I made this kind of, I was mucking around on the train. I had my music, just using the laptop keyboard. I just played like some organ, and I played a bit of piano. And I kind of just, I was just mucking around, making that. Just sounds a bit crazy. And then I added like a drum kit. So see if we can hear that. So there's just mucking around, making a beat, have a drum kit, bang. And then I thought, what if we use that drum kit to control the volume of the melodic texture on top? So what we can do is set up, what I did is put those organ and piano into another channel, put a compressor in, and set it up as a side chain compressor from the drum kit. So now every time the drum kit plays, it's going to pull the volume down on those melodic sounds. So it's like the drums are controlling. I set the ratio super high. Usually you don't do that, but I wanted to use this as a kind of, a really extreme effect. So I set the ratio super high, and I set the threshold high too. So it's going to happen every time the drum kit hits. It's going to pull out. Let's just hear how that sounds. You can see it working away. You probably can't hear it that much because the drum's playing. This is a good way, this is like a handy way of making the drum stick out in the mix. You pull the other things down whenever the drum hits, and it kind of just gives the drum more prominence. So then I kind of thought, what if we get rid of the drum? There's no drum, but there's still this compression going on, giving us the illusion of a drum. Crazy. So what I did is I just kind of took the drum out, and you can hear that kind of whenever the drum hits, pulls the fader down, but there's no drum. I like it. Kind of makes this kind of weird, glitchy sound. And then once I had that rocking, I thought, well, let's kind of process the sound a bit more to make it more hazy. So we've got, like, I set an EQ onto it. I rolled off a lot of the high frequencies. So it sounds a bit more. And then I just wanted to, like, making it fuzzy. So I used this thing that I love called a bit reduction, a redux. It reduces the sample rate and it makes it kind of distorted and fuzzy. Let's put that one on. Ooh. Suddenly you can hear a lot more of that drum compression coming in, even though the drum isn't there. And it gives kind of a lovely textural sound to the piece. So there you go. There's something you can muck around with. get some kind of melodic sounds like a cloud floating, hit a drum kit on, and let the drum kit control the compressor through Sidechain, and then get rid of the drum kit and see how that rhythm changes, where there's a rhythm of voidness rather than a rhythm of hitness. So that's kind of how the piece took shape. Yeah, there you go. There's something you can maybe muck around with this Christmas. Sidechain compression, make some weird electronic sounds. Don't be afraid to mess around with your sounds. I was on the train and I then thought, oh, you know, when you've got electronic sounds, they sound quite kind of cold, and it's always nice to add something human and earthy and ambient. So I just stuck on a track and I just recorded the train carriage. I just let it roll for a while. That's just the microphone on the laptop. And it was nice. You can hear a little kid. The thing I did then is I hit this reverse button. Where is it here? This reverse. I reversed the entire sound because, you know, I didn't want the man talking or the kid talking to really sound like them. I would have had to ask for their consent. So I wanted to process the sound a bit and make it into more of like a weird sort of ambient sound that you couldn't work out. Plus the guy on the train was actually using a lot of naughty words into his phone, sitting right behind me. So I didn't really want this to be an explicit song. I wanted it to be a family-friendly Christmas song. So I actually all I did is reverse the whole sample. So everything, the train sound, everything is backwards. It's like playing the tape backwards. I think it sounds kind of cool. And then if we add on top that weird sound, suddenly we've got this, you know, it conjures up a bit of a feeling, doesn't it? Christmassy feeling. Then I chucked on one more thing, which was the kind of weird bells in the background. Kind of put through a granular synthesizer and they're kind of making this very slightly weird sound. So guys, there you go. There's some ideas to just take sounds, start processing them, muck them up. You don't have to leave them as they are. You can start putting them through things, turning them backwards, putting compressors on them, reducing the bit rate. All that kind of stuff is like mixing the paint in different ways, and it changes everything sonically, and you can start creating cool atmospheres. Have a really happy Christmas, dudes, and I'll see you in 2022. There's loads more music to come next year. Talk to you soon, and thank you so much for sticking with me and being my patrons this year. It's been an absolutely awesome year. I've produced so much work, and it's great to have you guys surrounding me and interacting with what I'm doing and supporting me financially. It really means a lot to me. So yeah, have a great Christmas. Send me any kind of music that you're making. I'd love to have a conversation about it.